Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's another rainy old day here in Sydney town, but what I'd like to do on this overcast and slightly cold autumn Sydney morning here in the main quadrangle of Sydney University is to go through a book, and the book that I've selected for today's episode is entitled I Know Why Caged Birds Sing, a book that was published back in 1969 when I was just 9 years old by an author, a famous author named Angelou. So let's go through this book step by step and see where it takes us, see what we can glean, see what we can incorporate into our inventory of skills and knowledge. And the first key point to come from this author is that resilience can always triumph over adversity. Maya Angelou's life, as narrated in this memoir, is a testament to the power of human resilience. From the sting of racism in the segregated South to various personal traumas that could easily break the spirit of any person, Maya shows us that survival is an act of courage. Her story compels readers to find strength within themselves, even when the world feels extremely hostile. The second key point to come from this book is where we look at the power of words and literature. Maya finds solace and strength in literature, discovering that words have the power to heal and to liberate at the same time. Through books and poetry, she gains a sense of identity and belonging. Her love for Shakespeare, Langston Hughes, and others reminds readers that stories can provide comfort, refuge, and spark an amazing transformation. We talk about how identity is an ongoing journey. Growing up as a black girl in a deeply divided America, Maya finds herself struggling to find her identity amongst societal prejudice and pressure. Her particular experiences remind us that self-discovery is not a one-time event, but a lifelong process of embracing who we are despite the labels that others impose on us, remembering that society can try and label us and can try and define us, but ultimately we are the ones who hold the keys to the definition, and we are the ones who, with God, of course, are in control of our ultimate destiny. We look at the importance of community and role models, and Maya's grandmother, Mama, and other figures in her life provide her with wisdom and stability in these extremely turbulent times. These relationships illustrate the critical role of community and mentors in shaping our values and supporting us when life feels most overwhelming. Because there are days, there are moments, and there are periods in our lives where we need to overcome shame and once again reclaim our self-worth after experiencing abuse and carrying the burden of silence for a number of years. Maya learns to confront her trauma and once again reclaim and gain back her loud, clear, powerful voice. Her journey encourages readers to acknowledge their pain and break free from their shame and embrace their inherent worth. We must never forget that racism has devastating impacts, and there is a huge need to fight it. Through Maya's eyes, we see the ugliness of systemic racism, from blatant discrimination to subtle yet crushing acts of prejudice. Her story challenges us to confront injustice and be part of the change towards equality and dignity for all people. And along the way, we also need to look at and understand the complexity of family bonds. Maya's relationships with her parents and brother are deeply layered, filled with love, betrayal, and reconciliation. Her honest portrayal of these dynamics reminds us that families, whilst they are perfect in many ways, are also imperfect in other ways, but can also be sources, as we said, of profound connection and powerful growth. And the last point to come from this wonderful book is where we look at freedom and how freedom comes firstly from self-acceptance. Like the caged bird that sings of freedom, Maya learns to rise above life's constraints by embracing her particular uniqueness and humanity. Her story inspires readers to find liberation by fully accepting themselves, regardless of their real or imagined circumstances. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club on this miserable day here in Sydney. But for some people, today is going to be the greatest day of their lives when they come here and go into the Great Hall to graduate and to get their degrees alongside with their families, their parents. And I remember standing here back in 1983 with my parents and my then girlfriend Paula, who is now my wife, and got my degree, my Bachelor of Economics, majoring in accounting. And for me, that day, I'll never forget, was a day where I was proud, and I'm sure my wife and my parents were ever so proud of me as well. Take care, wishing you all the best, and we'll chat again soon. Bye for now.